Southern Ontario, July 1st. So I want to share this story with you of a young immigrant I know. East Indian correctly, but we tend to refer to them as East Indians. Now this young man is quite bright, and he's doing everything legitimately by the book. He doesn't come from a moneyed family back home. He's finishing his schooling in mid-August, and he's going to an actual legitimate school, not one of these diploma mills that just somebody should be investigating those, and there should be a stop to that. But I digress. He doesn't have one of these immigration counselors and all that crooked fududdery, if you will. Again, he's doing everything by the book, straight up. He wants his permanent residency. He has said to me quite clearly, because we often converse, that going home really isn't an option. He doesn't have a future there. He intends to make his life in Canada. He wants his permanent residency status. So he hastened over because he's concerned. He graduates his school in mid-August, and then he moves to the work permit part of heading towards his PR, his permanent residency. And he's informed me, and I haven't looked into the details of this, but some provinces are more or less attractive to go to on your work permit. He's headed to the Northwest Territories because he'll spend less time, if you will, working on his work permit towards his PR status, as in to apply for permanent residency, which is pretty much a given at that point, I gather. But his concern was, well, Parliament's closed now, right? Can they change the laws regarding the work permits, in part in the controversy in PEI and what's happening, right? And I said, well, no, they are closed. And he wasn't sure when they opened back up. And I said, well, I'm not exactly sure either, but I think it's fairly well along into September. But regardless, it's kind of irrelevant. He said, so then Parliament can't change the immigration laws regarding, well, I'll say, his status, right? His progression. And I said, well, in theory, no. But the regime of Trudeau, as you've learned, because we've discussed a number of topics, can't be trusted. And he said, well, yeah, but can they, the Parliament? I thought about it for a minute, and I said, well, I would like to give you some assurity, but the fact of the matter is, can the Immigration Board make changes when Parliament is not in session? Now I've got to look into that, because I said next time we get together, I'll see if I can research that, and I would like to give you some assurity, my young friend, but I can't. And then we went on to discuss, because he's often, I mean, this guy's bright. He's just trying to work his way through the machinations of the Trudeau regime, and just, you know. So anyways, what he was telling me was, currently, I mean, the bulk of our immigrants, our migrants, are from East India, followed by China. Please don't pull the racial card out at this point in time. Just don't do it. There's the southern region, I believe it is. I did have it in my head. They're kind of poor farmers. And then there's the Punjabi that tends to be kind of wealthy. And he was saying, well, the ones that come to the city, Toronto and Brampton, in particular, tend to be Punjabi, and he faults them. He says they have no intention of learning the language. They have no intention of integrating or assimilating or anything. But on the upside, if there is an upside, and again, don't pull the racial card on me, 50% of the Punjabis come here and return because they're discovering they can't make money. The market's already saturated, if you will. We've talked before about 30 to 70% of wages being subsidized for the newcomers in all the service industry minimum wage jobs. Well, that's all taken up. And so is all the big money stuff, right? I mean, can I get away with saying they own the trucking industry? They own the gas stations? Who knows? Maybe they're not going to like this video, are they? But by they, I mean YouTube and whatnot. But yeah, it's not the land of milk and honey that the government sells it. And I'm going to leave this video here. I see it's running on now.